from the beautifully appointed living room of the showroom of Beacon Heights. This is the marketplace. We are happy this evening to welcome two presenters who will be telling us about this wonderful development, the opportunities for sale, and all of the wonderful features that come with this development. And this evening, we want to welcome firstly, Kamala Lawrence.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being on the marketplace.
Well, we're happy to have you. Firstly, what is the official name exactly of this development?
Beacon Heights Housing Development. Beacon Heights was established in 2007 to add value to the current housing stock in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis as a Social Security Board investment project, and thus the birth of Beacon Heights.
So it's really a people's investment, because truly all of us have a vested interest in Social Security.
That's right, the people's project, the people's investment, yes.
I like the sound of that. Now, are you selling houses, or are you selling lots, or a combination of both?
Okay, well, it is both a residential and commercial project. So we're selling houses, not lots alone, but the completed turnkey house that we're encouraging persons to come and see. So the Beacon Heights project is twofold, commercial and residential.
So where we are right now, we are in the residential portion of the development.
That's right. Actually, there are 4 zones, and we are presently in Zone 1. So the idea is to develop Zone 1 and then move into the other phases. However, we'd be happy to see the commercial development get some life to it. So maybe this is the home for SKN Marketplace.
But tell me about Zone 1 though. What exactly can somebody listening to this conversation gather from what Zone 1 has to offer? What is in Zone 1?
Zone 1s are houses that are designed for upper middle income persons of the Federation. They're 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms.
So 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedrooms.
Yes.
Clearly, because they come in that tier, they would attract different markets. So to whom are you marketing each of those tiers?
As we said, it's the people's project, so there's no exclusivity or exclusion of any particular person. So we're encouraging persons, if you want an idea of how you can afford one of these homes, to come into our Social Security office, the investment manager's office in particular, and that person, that office will be ready to assist with the pricing details. But we are targeting citizens by investment, nationals, citizens in the diaspora, persons who are interested in having a piece of paradise on St. Kitts, because as you can tell, the views up here are spectacular, breathtaking even, cool and all. We don't even need AC units. So we are marketing to a wide range of persons, and that's why we have different zones accordingly, so you could choose based on your preferred taste.
So if you were talking to somebody who was in the, what we would call around in the upper income bracket, you would perhaps be more inclined to sell them one that is probably a 4-bedroom house. But what else would be the compelling feature that would make somebody not want to walk away from this? And I do agree with you about the views.
Yes.
They are exquisite. And as for the breeze, that cooling breeze, it's just amazing how there's this constant flow of breeze that really keeps the house cool. So what else are the compelling features that would make somebody not want to walk away from purchasing one of these lovely homes?
Well, why would you want to walk away? You've outlined some of them. The spaciousness, the breeze, finished homes, turnkey. We don't want the hassle of having the construction, the contractor to talk to, this to talk to. You've already have a design that you've selected, and you turn your key and you get into your Beacon Heights home. In addition, it's a development that will feature both commercial and residential. So if you want a one-space living area where you do business and reside, this is the place to be.
So when you speak about the commercial part of it, are you saying then that when the property is fully developed,
yes,
one can probably have some shops, maybe a tennis court, a gymnasium, things of that sort?
Well, you seem to have known what's in my mind, because one of the features that we are proud to announce is the possibility of a bowling alley. So we're bringing a new feature of entertainment right here in Beacon Heights. We're also going to feature financial services, banks, pharmacies, gyms, and so on. So it will be that spot you don't have to leave if
Other
you
than
don't
to go to work.
Other than to go to work. And if you're going to work, probably your workplace is right at Beacon Heights as well. So we are really looking forward to when the project comes to full life.
Okay. From time to time, I hear folks who live overseas for 10, 20, 30 years and have basically given a lot of their youthful life to working overseas, saying, you know, I'd really like to come back home, but I can't take the hassle of having to come and build a house. Are you specifically targeting that particular group of people, folks who are about retired, perhaps living somewhere in North America, really want to come back home because, you know, you can take a man out of St. Kitts, but you can't take St. Kitts out of the man. Yes. So how would you sell this development to somebody like that who really can't take on the hassle of building a house?
Well, one of the things we've done is to actually have on-site visits in the diaspora. We've been to places where we go to our residents out there who want to come back home and have no idea where they want to finally settle down in St. Kitts. So we've done some of that in our marketing strategy to reach out to that specific group of persons. One of the things that we do also is during the music festival week, we run a open house. So from the Thursday of this week, actually we'll be running an open house from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, even on Sundays, for you to come and see what the home is like. As we're here, we're staged in a property. It gives you a real feel of what living at Beacon Heights will feel like. So we're encouraging persons to come out during those days to see and to feel what it is to be at Beacon Heights.
So right where we are, as we speak, persons will have the opportunity to come in and to look and to touch and to imagine that this house is owned by them, and then perhaps talk to you afterwards?
That's right.
Is it you or the investment property manager?
The marketing manager will be on site, as well as, officers from the Public Social Security Board to answer any questions that persons may have related to the purchase of one of our homes here.
Okay.
Home sweet home.
Don't forget the eggs, babe.
So you're not gonna help with the groceries?
Sure, but can this test drive be over soon?
It's practically yours. All we need is your signature, no deposit, special pricing, financing, and insurance packages. It's the Sign and Drive sales event on all Suzuki vehicles, only at TDC Automotive. Call now.
Is me and you if you break them eggs?
For the best starter every day, your meals made a special way. Come in and feel to stay. CNC, our choice every day. We've got all you need for all the loved ones that you feed. Real value every day. That's right. CNC, our choice every day. CNC, always the right stop. CNC, more than just your favorite shop. At work, at home, together or alone, the choice is always clear. CNC, our choice every day.
CNC, our choice every day.
We are sitting right here at about 82 acres of land. About 12 acres is assigned to the commercial development, and the rest is for living. And as you can tell, there is your neighbor is not close enough to you.
That is the point I was going to make about having...
And everyone has their view. No house will get in the way of your perfect view into the harbor and so on. And that's one of the things that I particularly enjoy.
Me too.
That my view won't be obstructed. And so those are the things that we want persons to come out and see at our open house. Is
there a requirement if you are a non-citizen interested in owning a piece of property at Beacon Heights, for you to have an alien land holding license?
All of that would be in order, and they'd have to contact the Citizens by Investment Unit for specific details of what's required from each non-national, because you know the information will differ according to where you're coming from. So yes, that's one of the target markets that we have.
You know, if I were in the market for a property, and I could you know, rid myself of all of the hassles of dealing with the construction workers.
It is a hassle. It is a hassle. And more people are warming up to the idea of having this sort of property available without the stress. And so we're seeing new life into Beacon Heights as we speak.
So let's do some imaginary conversation here now.
Yes.
And so 10 years from now, I guess I would be at the point of retirement then. And so on a Sunday afternoon, I'm driving along and I say, you know what, maybe we should take a stop at Beacon Heights. Tell me exactly what I can possibly see then. Paint a picture for me as to what I can see on a Sunday afternoon in 2026, and we're driving and we stop by Beacon Heights.
What you will see, people walking, having strolls with their families. You'll see also the bowling alley brought to life. You'll also have a few, more than 4 green areas. So if you're conscious about healthy living and so on, unobstructed views, that is what you'll feel. A peace of mind, a freeness, movement, yes, because you don't want to be in a place where you feel absolutely secluded and lost, but you will be at ease, seeing people moving back and forth, enjoying their space at Beacon Heights.
And of course there'll be shopping.
Shopping, oh, I can see that. Yes, in and out of the mall, I can see that.
Tennis courts perhaps?
Tennis courts, of course, and so on.
I am willing to wager that this is as beautiful as they get in St. Kitts.
Yes, it is.
I think when this development opened, I personally had no clue that this was the kind of open vista that you get. And let's not take for granted the salt air and what impact that has for us in terms of our health, because there's nothing like inhaling salt air. So there's also even a little bit of health attribute that you can use where that is concerned to promote the development.
Yes, as we said, where the green spaces, the fresh air, the views into the harbor, you can see everything here that you would imagine that is somewhere else on the island. Everything is centralized right here.
So what's to keep somebody from hearing this show, listening to the show tonight, painting a picture, going along with us, and not want to contact you, say by next week? What's to stop somebody from not contacting you?
There should be nothing to stop anyone from contacting us to find out more. That's all you need to do. Call us at 465-2535, or you can email us at pubinfo@socialsecurity.kn, and all the information we'll give to you. And of course, we're open for the open house. So come in, feel, see, and then act.
You just won't be able to overnight though.
No, you won't be able to do that here.
But the commercial opportunities that you said would be available, that for me is also very interesting, because here it is, you are really spurring opportunities for people who want to perhaps make some investment locally.
Yes.
And again, whether they're resident here or overseas, I think this is another way for people to become interested in their home country and give back something in the form of investment.
And this is a Social Security investment project, right? The idea is to extend the Social Security Fund for years beyond, so that my generation, my children, all of us can be secured our pensions when the time is here. So what we want to do is to see this project really come to life, and opportunities will certainly follow: employment, socioeconomic benefits, and so on. So, I mean, what would stop you from coming in?
Right. I am happy that I've had this conversation, because again, I had no idea that there was that commercial component to this whole project. And I am almost certain that when the many viewers of the marketplace look at this, they too would be fairly well informed about those opportunities. And you know, for all of us who like to think that, you know, we are lost, we're only employees, but
Yes.
there's an opportunity for us to make an investment, then, you know, this for me is one of the good selling points from this conversation this evening.
Nothing is better than seeing and believing, and you're here now with a new perspective of what Beacon Heights development is.
Absolutely.
So when they come,
They too.
they too will have a sense, a true sense of what Beacon Heights development is all about.
I couldn't agree with you more, Miss Lawrence, and I really have to thank you for stopping by the marketplace. I am aware that this program reaches a wide cross-section of people. I recently had some statistics as to some of the numbers that may have been viewing the shows that are posted, and they are fairly encouraging. And I have a strong suspicion that a significant number of those people who are viewing the shows online are people who live in the diaspora.
Yes.
So surely when people begin to make the connections and they think about putting the final thoughts together about retiring, I think St. Kitts is where they're going to come to, and I think Beacon Heights is where they will come to live.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's a pleasure because we have realized also that your reach is beyond just our screens at home, and we want to encourage persons to know a little more about their Beacon Heights development project. Thank you.
I like that word, their Beacon Heights, our Beacon Heights.
Our Beacon Heights.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Lawrence.
Thank you.
Home sweet home.
Don't forget the eggs, babe.
So you're not gonna help with the groceries?
Sure, but can this test drive be over soon?
It's practically yours. All we need is your signature, no deposit, special pricing, financing, and insurance packages. It's the Sign and Drive sales event on all Suzuki vehicles, only at TDC Automotive. Call now.
There's me and you if you break them eggs. Eh?
We are continuing to enjoy the beautiful view and ambience of this very wonderfully outlaid house at the Beacon Heights, and so we've actually moved into the dining area now, and we'll be talking to Mr. Lincoln Pemberton. Mr. Pemberton, welcome to the marketplace.
It's my pleasure to be here.
I know you're going to deal with all the things that a man should know about a housing development, infrastructure and the building and the layout and the size and so. But tell us, in what capacity do you speak this evening with us at the marketplace?
Well, initially my company, Construction Technologies, we entered into a development agreement with Social Security, and we have provided several concepts of what would best suit the topography and the land in this Jewel's Estate area. And it was a process that went on over maybe a period of 18 months, where we presented designs and they were approved by a building committee at Social Security Board. In terms of choice, Social Security had a choice. The area that this project has been extracted from comprised maybe over 300 acres. The areas at the lower elevations do not offer the view and some of the charm that was originally, that has been presented in the final design and the choice of land and property. So these were some of the factors that weighed heavily in favor of the site where the Beacon Heights project is currently situated. And so the site comprised of about a 90-acre site in totality. 90 acres. And we span from a lower elevation up to the foothills of the Olives Mountain. The elevation lowest would be some maybe 100 meters from the Island Main Road. So in that expanse, the project has been zoned into 4 different areas in housing, and one area at the entrance of the project, which is the commercial area. And so the phases that we have embarked on initially were the introduction of 10 models, which sort of gave the buyers a choice in the models that would be offered in the different zones. We've had in the Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, and Zone 4. Currently, this model is in Zone 2. So this is in the middle of the project and has features that can best suit an intermediate choice in terms of the lowest to the highest.
I found interesting a point that Ms. Lawrence made in our earlier conversation about the fact that based on what the development has to offer, there is a concerted effort to ensure that no one person obscures the views of the next. How are you going to manage this though?
Well, that was one of the key functions of the what I spoke about in terms of choice.
Yes.
The slope. The slope allows, as you graduate from the lower to the higher elevations, you will tend to have unobscured views.
Oh, okay.
So the design pretty much has been centered around that. And again, some engineering considerations had been put into focus with the other features that the land naturally presented itself. One of the things that we were careful not to do is to alter the general topography of the area. So a lot of thought and planning had been put into that. So the site that is presented here now has changed very little from the virgin site that was acquired by the Social Security Board.
Now, tell me about the infrastructure in this project. I know we're moving towards an age now where everybody wants to ensure that they reduce the carbon footprint. Is there any, is your infrastructure plan down the road going to allow for, say, some electricity by solar that can power the entire project?
Yes, in fact, that has been a consideration. As a matter of fact, the newer models will also make provision for that. We will allow people to have upgrades where they can move in that direction, adding some solar units and the like. So that is going to be the trend of thought, I mean, going forward.
So as we stand now, a buyer purchases a lot or property, and what are the basic infrastructure that are now in place at Beacon Heights?
Well, the basic infrastructure would allow for security packages, the full wireless internet services, and then the general amenities in the house. Some of the things that the project is promoting would be wide and open spacious verandas and porches. We think that that is one of the strong points of the project. It is tending to encourage outdoor living in a sense. We think that a lot of people have deviated from that with the views and the vistas and so on. We think that that is going to be a very strong selling point of the project.
Now, Kamala spoke about green spaces in our conversation. When she said green spaces, what exactly was she referring to?
We have several, I think there are about 3 separate areas that offer parks and recreational spaces. These again will be further improved once we have the body of residents reaching to that critical limit, where we would allow for different areas can be improved to suit specific needs. Built into the concept is also a fitness and nature trail, which goes around the entire perimeter of the project.
Wow.
So residents have the benefit of, at their leisure, a regular program. They come together as groups, and that would be something that they would find interesting.
But some of the things that one would expect to be done, from a common maintenance area would be things like what? Well,
again, one of the strong features of the Beacon Heights is that site maintenance, is something that is emphasized on. It's done in a very big way. There's a permanent maintenance crew which maintains all of the roads, the verges, and the green areas. So which prevents the overgrowth of bush and shrubs and so on, which also augments the safety aspect component of the project. So that is something that, again, has been maintained and is currently being maintained by the Social Security Board. That would be a function that would be taken over by the Homeowners Association in time. But Social Security Board has maintained that responsibility, which includes the security and the general site maintenance and any repairs that may become necessary from time to time. And maybe in part keeping out wild animals, the monkeys, the cows, and so on.
Well, good luck with the monkeys.
So that has been a challenge.
Now, what if I wanted to put in some fruit trees? Everybody wants to be able to go outside and pluck a fruit from a tree. Is there any provision for, say, mango trees, or maybe that is part of the whole, theme in keeping with not obscuring the vistas?
As you would notice as you enter into the project is the open frontage. We have open gardens and open lawns in the front. So all of the houses have a setback of a minimum of 20, and in some areas more, 20 to 30 to 40 feet from the street. So the area in the setback comprises part of the property, but it has been maintained. That is part of the format used in the Homeowners Association, in the building and the residential guidelines for the homes at Beacon Heights. So all of the houses are going to follow in that format, the open frontage concept.
Okay.
So in the Beacon Heights gardening, we tend to begin to promote and grow fruit trees and all of the hedges and all of the other plants that will be used in the future of the project. So you'll see that replicated from house to house.
Okay.
So the individual homeowner, of course, will be able to add his or her own preferences, but there are certain standard elements that will be incorporated in all of the housing lots.
For the best start to every day, your meals made a special way. Come in and feel to stay. CNC, our choice every day. We've got all you need for all the loved ones that you feed. Real value every day. CNC, our choice every day. CNC, always the right stop. CNC, more than just your favorite shop. At work, at home, together or alone, the choice is always clear. CNC, our choice every day.
CNC, our choice every day.
Paint a picture for me in 10 years from now, 2026, and on a Sunday afternoon, I'm driving and my first stop is Beacon Heights. What should I see then? What should be the big draw to make me think that perhaps I should make some investment here?
Well, some of the features that are really going to make the Beacon Heights project shine, above all other, projects of the like. On the entrance of the project, there have been plans, there are a lot of plans that have not yet been implemented. Significant among those will be the landscaping, the entrance features of the project. There has been a significant amount of investment by the Social Security Board where there's going to be some significant enhancements. The boulevard, the driveways into the project, they're going to be properly enhanced. And there's an open green area at the entrance of the project as you enter into the commercial area. That is just outside of the periphery of the project. But because of drainage features and so on in that area, that has been left as an open reserve. And that would also form part of the attraction. We think that they can have water fountain features, nice play areas, benches, cooling ponds. So we think that is going to be just the landscaping element alone. And as people become more conscious, of the natural living, the aspects, we think that is going to be a big attraction.
I realize that there is a stonework, remnants of some stonework that is located north from where we are. And I could imagine that it was probably part of some estate in, perhaps some centuries ago. How do you intend to maintain these sort of relics on site and even develop them as an attraction?
In keeping with the concept that a lot of the topography, not only did we not disturb or alter a lot of the existing topography as the site had been taken over by Social Security Board, but some of these relics, as we maintain, and there are two outstanding ones on the site that formed remnants of old sugar mills. And so this site had been one of the areas where sugarcane had been unloaded into tractor carts and everything. So we think along the way, some investigation as to the actual history, but those sites have been preserved.
Okay.
And they have been currently maintained and cleaned.
You can't help but notice as you drive into the project that the roads are really very wide and spacious. There's really no room for anybody to have an accident here. Was that deliberately designed?
Well, at the time, the minimum width of roads prior to 2000 in the late 90s would have been 16-foot roads. That had been the norm. Maybe earlier, if you can take your mind down to the villages such as Lambert, those roads, some areas have roads as now as 12-foot. What had been decided that in terms of the international standards, that this project should at least try to adhere and at least take that a notch higher. So that had been an integral part of the design process, making provisions for the roads that the traffic can be, while commuting, that there can be adequate parking provision on the roads and not impede the traffic. So the roads, yes, they have been wider than what would have been accepted as standard in, among all of the other projects on the islands. One of the other features too, they have, because of the topography as we spoke about earlier, there's a significant runoff that in rainfall, even moderate rainfall, attracts heavy runoff from the area. It's an area of over 90 acres. When you do the math and the calculation, in a moderate rain shower, there are hundreds of thousands of gallons of water that would have to be channeled. One of the things that also came into discussion as opposed to dealing with runoff water is conserving the water that is runoff from the houses themselves. Now, this is one of the very strong features that home owners would begin to appreciate in time. The houses all have been constructed with cisterns. That is a standard. There's no deviation from that. The cistern sizes are ranging from 4 to 10,000 gallons. So once the cisterns have been filled, that would allow a standard household a water storage capacity for a period of maybe 1 to 2 months. That is in the absence of any rain at all. And this tends to ease the burden on our water supply and the water sources. And I know in recent times when we've been having little spell of drought, the cisterns and the residents in the project now have benefited tremendously from that.
Unlike some other developments where, yes, there is a built-in requirement to build these cisterns, but it's not necessarily enforceable. You are ensuring that these cisterns are functional.
And it is a very strong selling point, value that is added to a house. They're all incorporated, so there's no need sometime in the future that you have to try to add a cistern to your house. So all of these things are built into the design and the concept.
Great. And so when all is said and done, how excited are you about seeing this whole concept unfold as one of the masterminds who are behind it?
Well, we feel that the opportunity that has been presented with this project, we are proud to be a part of it because it affords an opportunity for us as locals. And we've come together, and where possible, we have incorporated the use of all of our local technicians and artisans. So we think that this is something that will be shared by all of us. So ultimately, that is our vision and our hope.
And as Ms. Lawrence just said, it's really the people's project.
It is the people's project.
Because it's a future investment to ensure that all of us eventually can get something back when we are not too, not too physically fit to work for ourselves any longer.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Pemberton. As I did Ms. Lawrence, I think this was a really beautiful conversation. I believe that a lot of people who would eventually listen to this program would be enthused about all of the potential that this development has to offer. And I believe to a large extent, many people would have been hearing this information for the first time and stand to be very proud eventually of what will unfold at Beacon Heights. So I wish you luck at the marketplace. And if there's a need for us to come back, please do invite us back. We'll be happy to come back and share some more with the general public in St. Kitts and Nevis.